Good morning from the village of Stillman Valley, Illinois, and part of Ogle County in north central Illinois. I'm George, along with my partner Ken, and we are the Emerging Menaces. We're very happy on this beautiful Sunday to be invited to who we affectionately call the Pumpkin Lady, Teresa Miller. Teresa, thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you.
So again, for those of everyone that really don't know the journey that you were on last time, kind of briefly let everybody know how this whole, what would we call it? We call it an obsession?
Sickness. Well, quite a few years ago, my daughter went away to college, and we had horses, and she called home one day and said, "Mom, sell the horses. I'm not coming home." So I cried for 2 years. I had empty nest syndrome, which I didn't know what was. I didn't know it existed. Cried for 2 years, went to Farm and Fleet and bought a package of Atlantic giant pumpkins seeds and planted those over there in the horse pasture. And then I met Mark, a friend of mine that grows pumpkins, through Facebook, and that's how it started.
And now you're glad the kids are gone, correct?
Oh, God, yes. I told my husband, I said, you should have just slapped the heck out of me.
You got new kids here. This is, like George said here, what an amazing piece of property you have out here.
Thank you.
This is truly God's country.
Yes, it is. We
and,
enjoy it.
As I told you when I drove up, I'm going to move next door to you. So, yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks so much, Teresa. So, we interviewed you last year. Basically, I think when everything was over with already, I think you'd already had sold off your pumpkin to get carved and so now we are here before all of that happens. This has got to be a busy time of year for you now.
Yeah.
And I imagine that you're monitoring patches
very closely.
Like, absolutely.
I'm over here probably 5-6 times a day.
Yeah. And what are you looking for? I mean, what can happen?
Anything. You've got your vine borers, you've got your rot, you've got your stink bugs. Anything can take these pumpkins down quickly. Even a split, because they're growing. These pumpkins are growing. You know, I'm getting 30 pounds a day.
So am I.
God, I'm sorry.
Rim shot here, right?
I'm sorry. So they're growing fast. So you have to have fans on them, just to keep an airflow. And actually, the other day, I cut her main vine off. I let it grow out to about 6 inches, and then because right now I'm kind of pushing for weight, so I went ahead and cut that off, and I cut it a little on the shorter side. So you're learning every year. You're learning something new. So she was dripping. I mean, it was a drip, drip, drip. And I'm thinking poundage. Every drip is a pound to me. So I called my friend Mark from Chicago that grows. And I said, Mark, how do I get this to stop quickly? I have had fans on it. I sprayed it with alcohol. And so within a couple minutes, it had stopped.
Okay.
Just the air of the fans keeping it dry.
And why did you cut the main vine anyway?
Because so sometimes growers will cut it and some won't. They'll just let it continue to grow along with the pumpkin. But I'm running out of room.
Okay.
So to me, I'm thinking poundage, because all of that goes past that pumpkin is feeding the rest of that vine. So I'm thinking, okay, if I cut this off, how many more pounds can I gain? So that's, it's, some people do it, some people don't. I've done it, and then I've let it grow. So right now it's closing in towards the end of the season. So I'm looking for poundage.
So Teresa, speaking of poundage, we have patches here behind us. And then if Mary is able to pan a little to the right and can see some of the other ones.
Over here, Slash. She's almost, I think she's over 400. And then back there is Roxanne. She's pushing almost 800.
And then Patches?
Patches is over 1,500.
Now, the thing that's unbelievable about all of this, which I find just so amazing, all of this greenery is all for Patches.
Yep.
And so on in that. And how vital is this the lifeline, all of this?
This is her lifeline. Every bit of it is her lifeline. So the back part of the patch here was growing her at the beginning, and now as the season's going on, it's not growing her as much as the front part. So the front part is what's really growing her. So you kind of as you see how the vines go out this way, so then when you get to the new growth, those vines are going this way, and they're called tisseraries. So she had foaming stump, and I think I know how to cure that next year. So she's actually growing without the root of her stump. So the roots, that's why I have to bury these. So the roots is what's growing her.
Wow. Now, there's a lot of work and time and effort that goes involved with this, certainly. You want to bring in your husband, Keith. I know you always mention he's always in the background. And like Keith, welcome. And you got to give the guy more than a pat on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Teresa, right? I mean,
he's put up with a lot.
So, Keith, tell us a little bit about being part of this obsession of your wife, a labor of love, as they say.
Well, that's exactly what it is. She spends a lot of time over here, and I try to help her out as much as I can, but I only help her with the fences, and if she needs something built or needs something hauled, or as far as the pumpkins, she takes care of that, the fertilizing and the burying of the vines,
the growing,
the actual growing,
the maintenance.
Is this like considered what they call quality time together as a husband and wife, or is this the only time you really get to see her during pumpkin season?
No, he comes over here sometimes. Sometimes he comes over here and he says, "Are you coming home? What's for dinner?"
There you go. What's a man's favorite food? What's for dinner?
A couple of questions. First off, when did you plant this year to get started? And secondly, I'm seeing like a very intricate watering system here. Obviously, you must have built that for her.
No, I've done all that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
No, this is my drip line.
Hats off to you. Then when did you get started? When did you plant seeds for this year?
When did I put them in? The 1st of May? 1st of May. I grow them in the house 3 weeks before.
No, 1st of April.
1st of April, sorry.
Put them in the ground.
I grow them in the house. I basically burnt a few of them because I kept them too warm. So then I bring them out here, and there's actually he's gonna build me some over the winter, some new greenhouses. So what I do is I dig down deep, and I put in some heat tape, and that's gonna warm that soil. And then you put the greenhouse over top of the plant.
Okay.
And so you're because they like the warm soil. It's too cold. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get an early growth season. You're trying to stay at least 3 to 2 weeks ahead of everybody else, which everybody else is still doing the same thing. But anything can happen to these pumpkins. And I've made a lot of mistakes this year over there with Slash. Burnt the tip off of her because I had my what do you call it? Heat lamp too close to the tip of it, and it burnt it. So that means she only went out like maybe 6 feet. So I only had that much to start with. So I made as a grower, you're always going to make mistakes.
So does the soil temperature have to be at a certain temperature?
About 80.
80 degrees.
Yeah.
And in April, it's 80 degrees for you to plant?
If you put the heat tape
in. Heat tape down. Okay.
Put the heat tape down.
She plants her seeds in April, but she doesn't plant them outside until the 1st of May.
Okay. Now, this has been an exceptionally warm summer. You know, we're on almost 30 days of 90-plus degree weather. Has that put a lot of pressure on you to monitor more closely?
Yes.
You have to change what you're doing?
Yeah. As you can see, I have a shade tarp over them. And then there's one that I don't have up right now. I took it down so you could see through her better. But there's another one on the back side of them. And then now she's getting older, and she's starting to cantaloupe, which she's getting that, like a cantaloupe gets. Mm-hmm. So she's cantalouping. So if it's too hot and it's too much sun, they get sheeted. They'll have a sheet over them, just to protect them from that hot sun.
So were you happy with all the rain we got? In the last
yeah.
That's good for you.
We haven't had really any bad storms this year. We haven't had too much rain to where you're really worried about her getting too wet, you know, and that's another reason for the fans is to just keep that airflow around her.
And I wanted to ask you also, is there a particular song that she enjoys that you put out here for her to make her feel a little bit, grow a little bit better?
Actually, I really don't listen to, sometimes once in a great while, I'll listen to music. Other than that, this is my tranquility, peaceful time. I cuss myself out a lot.
She does talk to them a lot, though.
Yeah, I
Tell them how beautiful they are.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Pat 'em on
After their plants.
Yes.
Pat them on the booty.
I do the same thing for the last 50 plus years, how beautiful they are.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's now we're approaching kind of the fun part of the season. And how much longer now until the big event and the festivities? And Keith, it's got to be quite a time for you. I was trying to figure out how you would get in here
Well, we
in
saw
order
the
to fall.
pallets.
Yeah.
Do you have to slip something underneath her to get her?
Well, you guys will have to come out and watch it.
Okay.
The 26th is when we pick her. 23 News will be out here. They always come out here. He mows a big path, you know, because we got to get the trucks in. And the fence, part of the fence will come down. And we get a tractor from the Girl Scout, you know, what do you, skid loader.
This year, so I have to build a tripod.
Okay, then you're going to have to build a tripod.
Back to the behind the scenes work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like a roadie in a band. You know, you're necessary. The band plays and then leaves, and the roadies break down all the equipment, which is all the essential work that make this successful.
So,
Exactly.
And where is the event going to be taking place?
In Manuka, Illinois.
Okay.
Quite a few pumpkin growers grow there, but I've heard through the grapevines that some of the pumpkin growers haven't had the best of season because, you know, when we get that 90-degree weather early on, what we had, and that's why Slash and Roxanne are much smaller than her because I couldn't get pollination. It was too hot. So I come over here and I pollinate by hand, and then you zip tie the blossom end, the blossom closed, so no other bee can get in there. Because what you want to do, you want to make sure that you have a pure seed, that she isn't. So this seed was my last year's seed from an 1,871 pound Miller, and that's my last name. So you want to keep that seed pure. You don't want that bee coming in here and crossing over with the other pumpkins.
Or a cantaloupe.
You know.
And do you anticipate patches weighing out at somewhere around that 1,800? You hope maybe more or more?
Well, if you're where you're at today in weight, I won't say, but you've got to the 26th of August. Is that correct?
September
26th.
September.
So you've got 7 weeks, correct?
Yeah.
And you're saying it's growing at what, 30 pounds a day?
Yeah, but she'll have her off days. She'll slow down, but because of September, we start getting that cooler weather in, so it kind of triggers the plant. They tend to slow down. So this is the month I want my growth. You know, the state record was grown in 2015, and that was over 2,100. I think it was 2,145.5. And I heard my friend Joe in Chicago is probably outdoing me. He usually does. So I think we're both shooting for the state record.
Okay.
So I really want to beat that. If not, there's next year.
Then as far as quite a few of these pumpkins that you have, do they go on display at different locations, arboretums and different florists and things like that?
Clem Arboretum is purchasing her.
Again, yeah.
Yeah, again. And then Roxanne is going to a bar in Chicago. Oh. This is her second purchase for me.
That must be a very interesting talking point at a bar.
Oh, sure.
Spice drink or something, you know?
So then
They carve it and have fun with it.
Yeah, and Slash will probably be going to Lake Zurich.
Now, do you have any anxiety that when you've had them and you have to let them go, kind of, you don't cry for 2 years?
I do because they've been my babies all summer long. I've watched them grow. I watched them mature, and yeah, it is. They're my babies.
Wow.
How did you get the names this year?
Well, Patches, actually, there's I couldn't come up with a name, but I kept coming across these 2 red pieces of material that were in the patch right by her. Okay. And I'm like, where are they? I don't know. They're red. I'm like, I don't have a shirt. Like, where'd these patches come from? So I thought, well, this is a patch, and there's 2 patches. If I can find one, I'll show you. But that's where yeah. And then Roxanne, I found a rock over there beside of her. So I was going to name her Roxy, but I thought, Roxanne.
Okay.
And Slash, she had some marks on her from the leaf blowing on her, so kind of scratched her
No,
up. So.
no affiliation with Guns N' Roses or
Nope,
anything.
Slash.
Well, like you told us last year, they basically named
They
themselves.
do.
You find something about them,
They do.
and you name themselves.
Yeah.
So this is coming down to the wire here. Now, is cooler weather
That's my
better
enemy.
for you now?
That's my enemy.
Oh, it's your enemy.
You don't want
Okay.
cool because it sets them into a fall.
Okay.
When she says cool, she's talking 50s,
Yeah.
low 60s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
70s, high 70s, and low 80s are perfect, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So will you do the opposite? Now you have a fan on her. Will you put heat on her if you need to?
No.
You can't.
No. It's no.
Okay.
No. I'd have to put heat over the whole plant.
If our temperatures that we've had, like I said earlier, throughout the summer, are any indication what the rest of the next 7 weeks are going to be, you might be in good shape here.
I hope so. I hope she can. She's really hard to tape right now when we come over and tape her because she's pretty curvy. So, you can see where she's dented in there. So that's loss of inches. So we don't really know where to bring the tape around because I don't want to over tape her to where it looks like she's bigger than what she is.
Well, I see Roxanne's got a little more color.
Yes.
And Slash rather than.
They're two different seeds.
Okay.
So this is the 1871 from last year, and Roxanne and Slash are from the same seed.
Okay.
They're 2177 Ford.
Okay.
So
I might add that last year's 1871, which is this pumpkin, at this time last year, she's 300 pounds heavier this year than she was last year.
Oh,
because I got an earlier start.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, Keith, Teresa, we wish you the best of luck. We, again, thank you so much for having us out here today. We'll continue to
welcome.
follow this. This is very exciting. And so,
yeah, we'll follow up with, we'll get you on the show after everything's weighed in, and we'll see how you came out this year.
Okay.
And best of luck to everyone.
and we'd like to thank our camera person, Mary, who's helping out here today. And so from Stillman Valley, this is George and Ken and George with the Emerging Menaces.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Thank you.